Hello everyone. It's now 7:57 p.m. in the evening. I have to yawn. I didn't have to yawn before I got on here. Excuse me. I didn't have to yawn before getting on here. So, excuse me. So this video, I'm gonna keep it to a minimum with the time, and I hope to live stream later on. So, after I live stream, I was able to get another night. Thanks for the help. And I don't know if it was 1:30 or 2 o'clock. I took a nap. And if you're sleeping during the day and have a bad dream, is it called a daymare or a nightmare? Is it still called a nightmare if you sleep during the day and have a bad dream? But anyway, I had certain quote unquote deja vu kind of like scenery of in events of certain dreams and stuff like that. And I think one of the if I remember correctly, I had one of the dreams about riding a bus, and it was kind of similar to a dream that I had, or the scenery reminded me of a dream or two that I had before, and I don't remember how long ago it was. And I had, a nightmare about a bad dream about riding a ferry and the ferry sinking, and having bad dreams about them actually throwing me in the river or me sinking in the river with boats and stuff, and waking up traumatized. So, and those seem like kind of similar to dream experiences that I had before. Like, if you can end up at, like, dream a certain dream that you had a few years ago and then re-experience that same, like, bad dream or a few months ago or something, But, they did cause me, the dream manipulation nightmare, So I was able to sleep better last night and get a 2-hour nap today. And I'm still tired and sleepy, and I woke up, it was like 3:49, and they force urinated me. And fake Damnesia had been back to harassing me again, actively harassing me again. And he tried to lie and say that he missed my live stream because he was at work. Well, excuse me. He lied and said that he missed my live stream from this morning because he was busy at work. But that's not true, because he was manipulating the live stream. He was manipulating the live stream the same way he does that all the time, and the same way he's been doing before this fake Sticky TT6 and Red Triangle Cult Network started harassing me, long before they started. It was before they started, So, but and I was supposed to have shared the screenshots of the harassing fake comments in the community post this morning, but I was too tired. But I did share in the community post where he made a fake profile harassing me, and and also he put a fake image of a picture of someone, selling their soul and everything like that, you know. And so I wish they would leave people alone and mind their business. Like, it's torture just be harassed and not given a chance to see. Now they're hitting me in my rib cage on my left side, below my left side of my breast. Sorry for TMI, but that's where they hitting me at with the weapons, trying to put pressure, painful pressure right there, because I'm speaking the truth about what they're doing to me, you know. So I thought fake Damnesia was like in the shadows or whatever, but ever since I exposed Angie being based in, either him or Angie, one of them being based in North Carolina, that's when he went back to harassing me even worse, you know. So, but it's like I don't post everything, every attack that they do to me. Like, I don't, because it's a lot of times it's too much to keep up with, and also I don't want to flood. You're bad enough y'all don't even want to hear my experiences anyway. But I don't want to like flood your timelines with all their attacks or whatever. But sometimes, at first YouTube was giving us 5 community posts, but now they give us 10 community posts or whatever. Sometimes I might have to do like 20 screenshots of the crazy stuff that they say to me or whatever. But when the threats are really serious and it's stuff that I gotta prove, I have to and share it in the community post, and they try to block and censor because they know they're guilty, and it's very like I have to work on trying to not be fearful or scared of them. Like they were trying to scare me last night with the threats and harassment and lies or whatever, because the lies that they make, they try to intimidate. They try to use the lies that they make. They try to use it to intimidate and have you frightened. The fact if they lie on you and make you look a certain way, in a way that's very embarrassing, even though they're lying on you and you're telling the truth, but nobody want to believe you, and they would rather believe the liar and side with the liar, so but as I said, I tried to tell I tried to warn the manager here about the fake harassing calls and or whatever, and he was rude to me and didn't want to hear what I had to say, and try to gaslight and lie and say that that they have nothing to do with that or whatever. This is my documentation. So other hotels and police officers and librarians and certain so-called authority figures would try to tell me that basically in the fake public offender with the court or whatever, they try to separate me being so-called in trouble, with something, they try to separate it from the online stalkers that are doing what they're doing, and what they're like the mastermind behind, why I'm so called in trouble or set up in the first place. you know so but it's really I'm like, it's really exhausting, fighting to survive every day. But if I stop fighting to survive, then people will act like as if, oh, Candy's suicidal. But I get criminalized for fighting to try to live the best way I know how in my predicament. If I was earning $300 or $400 or $500 a day, I probably could have been able to get a vehicle and get my own place or whatever. But that's how the stalkers think that I'm earning or receiving that much. But excuse me. In my situation, the fact that they illegally swatted me, had me wrongfully arrested and thrown in jail, and having me wrongfully banned from so many places, and wrongfully banned from the shelters. And if I do go to the shelters, the shelters are so dangerous and got a lot of, that's a whole different video itself with the shelter talk. And the moment I set foot in a shelter, I'm like wrongfully kicked out and banned instantly. So I'm really scared about surviving this winter and having to deal with a lot of torturous, forget just uncomfortable, it's not just uncomfortable, but brutal torture of cold and wind. And then someone with severe PTSD and OCD and Tourette's, and supposedly on the autism spectrum, and had 2 strokes when I was 5, and depression, anxiety because of y'all abuse, and hypersensitive ear condition, to force someone into homelessness, and then tell me how to live homeless, and for everybody to say, go get a job. Where is anybody to offer me one? And I don't want any prostitution jobs. I don't want any fake satanic sellout jobs. I don't want any gang stalking jobs. I don't want any so-called jobs where you get paid to commit crimes and do wrong. If y'all say go get a job, where is anyone to offer me one? You're gonna offer me are you gonna offer me a job as an administrative assistant, like in a dental office? Or are you gonna are you gonna offer me a job position, delivering packages, and here's a company car or a company vehicle, and or you're gonna offer me a position of cleaning toilets? Oh, but if I do get a legitimate job, if I do get a legitimate job, the stalkers make sure it don't last long, and You know, why did that bus cleaning job reject me? I have to deal with workplace mobbing if I do get a job, or I get wrongfully fired and permanently banned forever from the job. So they blocked me from earning a living with my writings. And I don't even earn money every month from my writings. You know, and it's like really, I'm really frightened of not being able to survive this winter. And the stalkers, they are rubbing their hands together, hoping for me to die. And they were harassing me and threatening me and telling me that, they're trying to, they illegally swap me and have me, wrongfully arrested and thrown in jail, and in cahoots with the fake public offender, and contacting him and trying to have him to manipulate the courts to declare me too mentally incompetent to stand trial. They act like as if I murdered somebody. And I didn't. I'm legally allowed to be at the library, but they try to, every time I got kicked out of the library, is the stalkers had something to do with, prank calling the library and telling lies on me, And it's like they keep on harassing me and saying that they will continue to harass me until I sell my soul and join the cult, or until they succeed at getting me locked up in a mental institution. But they want me to be locked up in a mental institution and lobotomized. And they want me controlled in MK Ultra. And I keep fighting against it. Everything. I keep fighting against, their fake attacks and everything. So I had so much on my mind before getting on the video, and now that I'm doing a video, my mind went blank. And so, I feel a little bit more refreshed after, tonight. After I took the nap this evening. But I was disappointed because I tried to see what I could get left over. With the funds left over. And I tried to get an appetizer that was buy one, get one free, and some beans on the side. And when I got the appetizer, it was only one and not two. So I had to go and get the credits back. And then I ended up getting a small bag of chips and cookie. And so basically I just had and this was I don't remember if it was after 5 o'clock, but it was very light food to eat. It was not heavy at all, and it was not heavy at all, and I'm kind of feeling afraid I might be hungry later on. It's 8:17 right now, I'm afraid of being hungry later on, but I'm gonna try to not. Well, I don't have the money to eat anything until tomorrow morning for breakfast, anyway. But today being Wednesday, it's Wednesday, and so it's Wednesday, and you know, I looked at the price of the hotel room, and they're saying the same price as the past few days. So um I don't know if anyone could help me with $85 for hotel plus funds for food and for another night for tomorrow night. And I'm trying to get the help this evening or tonight because excuse me, certain hotels you go to sometimes, like, they it's the weekend is approaching. So like last week, when it was, I think it was a Thursday that came, and I tried to book the hotel price for the lower price, and then at the last minute they changed the price to much higher. So that's why I'm trying to see if I could get the help with the $85 tonight, because tomorrow it might be over $100 or cost way more expensive. You know. So but it's like, as I said, please, like, instead of being mad at me and calling me a burden and condemning me for always begging or whatever, y'all should be mad at the stalkers for having me, and the stalking cult criminals for having not just me but all of us targets to be suffering. And earlier today, I saw a YouTube post. I saw a YouTube post about a guy that said the reason why gang stalkers want targets to be poor. I don't remember word for word, but he said the reason why they want us targets to be poor, homeless, and destitute or whatever, because they're guilty and they know what they did. And they know that if we were independent, self-sufficient, and had our own money and stuff, we could come back and sue them and have ways to destroy their cult network. So that's why they got to keep us destitute and poor and struggling and fighting for our lives and everything, because to keep us from standing up to them and keep us in a weakened and vulnerable state. They make my eye itch. But yeah. So yeah, so it's like, in my predicament, I keep reiterating that other than my writing and my YouTube is the only hope. My writing and my YouTube is my only hope for earning any money, and YouTube is more hopeful than my writing. And like my homeless situation and me being sleep deprived and having difficulty with trying to rest and stuff, I can't work on my writings like I'm really trying to, or like I really want to. And I'm angry that I can't get to work on my writing for at least 8 to 10 hours a day, just busy working on my writings and stuff, and dealing with lack of sleep and the sleep deprivation and the constant harassment, and me being in survival mode and having to take the time out to do YouTube live streams to raise funds for help and stuff. Is I have difficulty trying to work on my writings and stuff. And then when I do share some writing, the stalkers try to suppress it, or they or hide my writings or whatever. And they don't want me being a self-published author or writing, and they and they try to suppress my YouTube, and where I don't get to earn much. And also, the Social Security check is not a whole lot. And so the fact that I have to fight fake criminal charges and probably have to be forced to pay the courts more money and stuff like that. And I it's shown on a fake criminal record of background check that I can't, that's hindering me from having jobs. But then being in this targeting program and wrongfully blacklisted and dealing with workplace mobbing, I get all these job rejection letters before the jail and court situations happened. So, and then being wrongfully banned from most hotels and the shelters, and and me being disabled with certain limitations and stuff. People try to coerce me to be normal and call me bad for not being normal. And they think I should be just shoved into any homeless shelter and be normal and adapt and follow rules and stuff like that. When with my disability, if a noise bothers me and I get kicked out and wrongfully banned and ganged up on and bullied out of the shelters and stuff, So, I mean, if there were a way that I could land, even if it was a dishwashing job, where I could get to receive the accommodation of getting to put my earbuds in and block out all the noise and wash the dishes, and earn my own income, but, I would get workplace mobbed off the job and stuff, But I love y'all. And, well, the video that I tried to share a couple of days ago, it had over 200 views, and it was like 3 hours long, I think. But only 4 or 5 likes, and I wonder, what did I say wrong? It seemed like everybody was mad at me. But I ended up being longer than I planned on this video. But for people to say stop begging and go get a job when I can't get a job anywhere, or employers are rejecting my applications and not hiring me, and then they said, well, you should keep trying and stop making excuses. I'm telling you, it was real. So even in 2023, when I first came back here to New Orleans and tried to get established, job rejections left and right, and I tried. So all that I'm able to do is either suffer on the streets or fight for hotel nights and hotel rooms with hotels that I know hotels where I'm not banned from, but they got me wrongfully banned from the cheaper hotels and motels and stuff. And I can't go to just any motel and hotel. Certain areas I cannot go to because of being too dangerous or something like that. But so it's 8:26. I'm gonna get off here and upload the video and go take a shower, brush my teeth, and write whatever I could and try to come on the live stream at like I'm aiming for 10 or 10:30, because I don't want to try to go to bed past midnight. So I love y'all, and I'm gonna get off the video.